Hey, what's good? I hope you don't mind the music. I really hope it's not copyrighted. I apologize to whoever it is. I got like 2 subscribers, so it shouldn't matter. I got done with my modern success lecture just now, and Brian's talking about anchoring and making it a habit and flow state and things like peak state. I know Tony Robbins talks about that too. So I have an anchor already, but I actually added it to my morning ritual just now. I wrote it down to make sure I do it at least every morning. For me, it's like confidence and being efficient. And for me, what I desire to be the most is being that guy that no matter the situation, no matter the conversation, I'm just that guy that's just smooth and just ready to go. Which I guess is a derivative of confidence, but more so just having a presence that just denotes confidence and just smoothness. So I suave that I like being the guy. You know what I mean? Like no matter the situation, boom, he can take care of it. So I like that's the person I aspire to be. So I want to share the story of why my anchor point is the way it is and what it's about. So I don't know if you can see it. I barely have a little blue blackish dot on that finger. I think you can see it. So way before I got into real estate, I used to work at a Walmart fulfillment center, distribution center. I left a sales job for that. I was 21, 22, something like that. I left a sales job. I was working retail sales for a cell phone company, which was mad fun. That was like my introduction to sales for a warehouse job. And I still made decent money, and I was a hard worker. I learned quickly. I was getting plenty of overtime. But the job, beyond the labor being very rough and intensive, and they were heartless, like if you didn't make your production, they didn't care. That part really didn't bother me, honestly. I got used to it. The part that bothered me after a while was the toxicity of the plant. Everyone who worked there was like, "Oh man, this is the best." It did pay decent for the area, admittedly. But that being said, people acted like almost like slaves to a slave master. Like, "Oh, but it's not going to get any better than this. Oh, this is the best we can do in the area." And people are just self-defeating. People are toxic. If you dare thought beyond the realm of, okay, maybe I can move up in a company, maybe I can find a better job, people literally spoke down to you like, how dare you think above your means? Like, what kind of backward shit is that? Like, literally, I would read one of the best books I've read, and it's when I first started to get into real reading. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad on my lunch break at that company. That book just opened my eyes to the world of possibility. But I would read that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, on break, and people, not often, most of my friends there, because I always associate with like higher thinking people, even back then, will, encourage me, asking what the book's about, or they would be reading themselves, because we weren't trying to stay there our whole lives. We're young, we have potential. We're not trying to, it's a means to an end. Nothing wrong working there, but it's a means to an end. But older people, maybe more cynical, maybe those who either gave up hope or just had a really bad outlook on life, would come up to me and straight up either insult me or make some type of snide remark about, "Oh man, reading's not gonna do nothing," or "I read that book, it's not gonna help." And I'm just like, even back then, I was like, "Yo, what's wrong with these people?" And I didn't dive into communication yet, or into reading energy from people or NLP or stuff like that. So even then, just from a surface level, I was like, "Wow, these people." It's definitely them. It's not me for sure. That being said, but anyways, so that's Walmart in a nutshell. Dope company, not to put anything down on Walmart. Decent money if you need a quick job. If you have a fulfillment center near you, it's hard work, but it's definitely worth it in the short term. But just be ready for the really negative mindset people are going to have. So I'm prattling. So this little dot I have here, it's a warehouse. So we always would handle pallets. Always we would handle pallets. I was an order filler, so we'd essentially slap labels on a box, throw on a conveyor belt, and move down large hallways that had just millions of products in it. And that was pretty much the whole job: just label, throw on a box, label, throw on a belt, label, throw on a belt. So when the pallet was done, old wooden pallets, we'd have to lift them, take care of them, kick them to the side. You get comfortable working a job for a while, so you don't really wear gloves, or you get a little bit more careless in your things. Splinters were a common thing. That's just how it is. It's old wooden pallets. And I had a decent splinter. It wasn't anything like deadly, but I had a little splinter right at that dot is that took a good like week to heal. So Video games have always been my escape. I love video games. I always will love video games. I actually have a gaming channel. I'm uploading my first video to right after this video. I love video games, right? So after Walmart, a rough, toxic job, oftentimes the first thing I'll do when I go home is play at least like an hour or two of video games. Because to me, that's my what's the term? Shangri-La, like that peaceful play. That's like my that's like my calming. I love that. I love video games. I always have. I always will. Huge nerd. Unfortunately, that really bad sore on my splinter, was just in the perfect place on my finger. And for those of you who are gamers, you know you need every finger to play. You need like these fingers to play the game. It was in the perfect spot to prevent me from playing a game. I think I just got Spider-Man or something too. So like, the reason why it's my anchor, I've started viewing this at a deeper level. It wasn't so much me just getting a splinter that didn't let me play video games. It was something I didn't ask for from a job I didn't like that was affecting me mentally, that prevented me from doing something I enjoy in my own home. That's how I viewed it. I was like, nah, this shit, I gotta change shit up. Something about that interaction, I knew I wasn't gonna stay there for long anyway, but that interaction made me realize, yo, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I have to leave. I have to leave. I don't care if I have to struggle for a bit, I have to leave. And I was making decent money. I was making like over $2,000 a check at the time. And a lot of people would be like, oh man, it's decent money. But and it just wasn't worth it after a while. It just wasn't worth it. Seriously, it just wasn't worth it. Had to move back home with mom and stuff. I was like, whatever, I'll do it. I can't stay in this job. It's affecting me. And what I even did, I took out that splinter and I put it on my wall. I still have it. I put it on my, this is years ago too. I put it on my wall and I put in tape. I put it on my wall and I circled it. And for me, that was my reminder from this day forward. If I'm doing something, it's not because of the money. It's because I want to do something or it makes me happy. And eventually that formed into real estate, which is something that I can do that makes me happy. And it will make me a lot of money. So I never got, and mind you, this is years ago, the mark from that splinter never quite went away. That's why I have that bluish black mark right there on my finger. And you can barely see, but I see it every day. And I was like, this is my anchor point. This is my anchor point. This anchor point reminds me of when I had the best day ever, when I broke my sales record on my last sales job. And it reminds me of why I need to work hard every day and be confident to put myself in a position where me or my kids or my wife never have to go back to a job like Walmart. Again, not hating on Walmart, but fuck that place. I'm never going back to no warehouse job, man. And it wasn't the work, it was the mentality. It wasn't the work, man. It was the mentality and the lack of ambition that people had. You know, it's like, we're making decent money here. Yo, we could start a business. We could invest it. We can get into crypto, like whatever. People are like, no, I'll just accept my condition. No, man. Get out. You know, you can be anything you want to. You can be anything you want to. It might take a while. You might have to learn. It might have to suffer. You might have to bleed, sweat, and cry. But you can be anything you want to if you work hard enough and you have the right mentality, man. And I couldn't stay in a job like that because people didn't think that way. You know, you don't have to be extreme like I am, but people didn't even try to be better than what they were. So that's why I had to leave. So this started off as a story about my anchor point, but now it's a whole backdrop on that Walmart job. But it's all good. It's all interrelated. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that. I'm going to throw this up on YouTube. Drop a link on my Facebook. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, share if you want to, other people that might have had similar stories. I think my aggressiveness is a nice background. It's a nice contrary energy to like the probably copyrighted music I have in the background, but it's all good. It's all good. To my 3 subscribers, don't snitch on me for having the music. Alright guys, love you. If you've checked out any of my other videos, thank you for watching them. I really do appreciate it. As time and money allows, I'm going to get better into the editing and making cleaner thumbnails and doing more analytical research and really posting more focused content. But for now, I just like throwing stuff up and sharing what's on my mind. So, yeah, you guys should do the same. If you haven't already, throw some videos up on YouTube. You never know who's going to see it or who it can encourage. You know? Take care, guys.